everyone, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. You join me today inside the Geneva Motorshow. Now this is the third or fourth consecutive year that I've been coming to the show, and just every year it gets bigger, busier and more mental. It's absolutely crazy. Today is the first press day, technically the quietest day, but also when the majority of the world premieres occur, so hopefully I can catch a few of those. But if you have watched some of the previous years of some of my videos in the past from here, then you'll just know how mental it is. But sit back and enjoy probably some of the most mental cars in the world right now. Well, as if by magic, where do I find myself first of all? At a world premiere. We're now at the Bugatti stand for what we know as now La Voiture Noire, the new most expensive car in the world. Now I chose to do this bit as a voiceover purely because there was so many people. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people. So I was lucky to get a front row of this. It was actually really cool to kind of see the car like first, one of the first people in the world to see the car live as well. I mean, I think we should get the covers off this thing because it is a work of art. Wow, everybody meet the new most expensive car in the world. This is the Bugatti La Voiture Noire, translating to a less elegant name of the black car into English, but it's basically a reviving of the fourth Bugatti Type 57. It actually has a pretty mental story. During the war, they were actually kind of speaking about it on the screen up there, but it was transported because of the war from Molsheim, the home, to I think somewhere else in France or Frankfurt in Germany or something, and it just never arrived. So there was only meant to be 4 Type 57s, but there was really only 3, and there is 3 in existence. So this is basically a one-off modern interpretation of that car. 16.8 million euros for a special commission, a one-off like I mentioned, but just look at it, it's absolutely stunning. Of course, you've got that recognisable horseshoe grille at the front. It can't be a Bugatti without that touch. It's nice how they've kind of maintained that. I like all these almost breather holes at the front here. Very interesting, and you've got that line that goes right across the car, which is obviously very reminiscent to the Type 57 Atlantic. As for power stats, it's basically the same as the Chiron, 1500 brake horsepower from a W16 with 4 turbochargers. I think some would probably be quite almost annoyed that it hasn't got any more power, but still, it's 1500 horsepower. I'm sure you cannot complain at all. I mean, it's just a stunning thing. It's quite long. The glance of the rear. Now we've got that singular brake light, almost like the Chiron, but just a little bit curved, with that lit up Bugatti and La Voiture Noire. 6 individual exhaust pipes. That is ridiculous. I mean, just look at the thing. It's such an elegant car, but then when you get round to the back, it really does mean business. Such a cool car. Like I mentioned, the new world's most expensive car, 16.8 million euros, and it's a one-off, so this is going to be the only one in the world. But anyway, on the Bugatti stand, that is not just what we have here. We have a Divo over there, which hopefully we'll be able to get a better look at a little bit later on. And we have the Chiron Son di Son, a celebration of the 110th year of Bugatti. Again, a very special car. So yeah, Bugatti is kind of killing the show a bit here, but this car, La Voiture Noire, what a piece of art. over at Lamborghini now, we have the new SVJ Roadster. This has just been revealed here at the International Motor Show. However, I'm not sure what I think about the launch spec. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty funky spec. It's like a matte bronze or brown with matte white pinstriping here and there with a, well, actually I must say the interior is very cool. I mean, it's a bright colour. It certainly stands out, that's for sure. As for the car, because that's kind of what this is all about, limited to 800 units compared to the 900 of the SV Roadster. As for power, 6.5 litre V12 pushing nearly 800 horsepower. I can imagine that is a dream with the removable roof. ALA has made its way to the Aventador series with the SVJ. Obviously, it was kind of debuted with the Huracan and Performante. But if we put round to the front, we can see the ALA badge. It's basically their active aerodynamics package. So we got clever things in the front bumper and the nostrils here, and then more towards the rear wing as well. The car in question, I'm actually a big fan of from seeing it in person. The colour, not so much so. So pretty excited to see some custom cars when they start rolling out, probably at the end of this year. We've also got a matte grey Urus, the new Huracan Evo, and then behind this crowd here, the Huracan Evo Spider. There we go then, the Huracan Evo Spider. It's basically a facelifted version of the Huracan, sat here with the Performante multi-spoke wheels. Only subtle differences with the Evo. We've got like a Performante style rear end with the Performante exhaust, a small little wing, and then a redesigned front bumper. I can't get over there right now though, because there's some sort of interview going on, but it's a lot more aggressive and it does look a lot meaner. The interior, some slight little touches in there as well, small little facelift parts, but yeah, big fan of these. I think it's going to be very, very popular indeed. But yeah, this could potentially be the last iteration of the Huracan until we get maybe even the replacement, who knows. Over here at the Pagani stand, we have this satin blue carbon Huayra Roadster. This looks to me like a customer car because you can see the US spec reflectors on both the front and back, but this car, this spec, absolutely phenomenal. I love these almost spoiler inserts at the back, just above the lights, the quadruple exhaust at the back, Huayra Roadster, all of that carbon. You can see that titanium exhaust in there. What a car, and what a spec as well. Really, really cool to see. Zoom in so we can see that carbon fibre weave. And over on the other side of the stand, we have a C12, because it is the 20th year of the Zonda. Hopefully we'll be able to grab a closer look at that a little bit later on. It's a bit busy over there at the moment, but this, on the other hand, what a spec. Well, 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 what do we have here? This might just be the start of the show. Say hello to the new Koenigsegg Jesko, named after Christian von Koenigsegg's father. An amazing tribute, and very touching to see a car named after him, seeing as he kind of allowed him to really pursue his dream and get to this level. This is a 1600 brake horsepower twin turbo V8. It's been wildly modified from the Agera, which is what this is replacing, but for a standard model to have 1600 horsepower, to think what they did with the Agera, from the Agera to the Agera R, and then finally the Agera RS, we might even see a potentially more hardcore variant of this reaching over 2000 horsepower. Featured here in a very pearlescent white with some very light grey stripes, green accents, and then the signature naked carbon. I mean, have a look at that. It almost gives a very chrome effect, and in fact there is a Regera up that side, which we'll get to a bit later on, but this thing looks nuts. The Jesko features a whopping 9-speed gearbox, rumoured to be a revolutionary light-speed gearbox, and they say that it will literally change gears instantly, as in from 9th to 1st. I mean, obviously the engine probably would not be ideal for that, but that's what they say. 1,000 kilos of downforce in this thing. I mean, check out that wing. It's not actually kind of mounted to the rear of the car. It's literally on these carbon struts straight from the roof. It almost looks like a shark tail. Active aero all over this car. I mean, some of the tech on this thing, and just how they've made a car be so functional and yet look so good at the same time is phenomenal. We've got the Akrapovic exhaust. Koenigsegg are kind of in partnership with Akrapovic. The exhaust for the Regera was the same. But yeah, this thing is absolutely incredible. Over on the other side of the stand then we have the Koenigsegg Naked Carbon Regera. This thing is a work of art. Like I was mentioning with the Jesko, it almost features kind of a chrome effect. It's actually got no lacquer or anything on it, hence the name Naked Carbon. So it's very, very hard to do. I mean, one stroke too many when kind of manufacturing it, it's ruined. And when you think that they do whole panels at once, you can only imagine the amount of hours taken to create this. And it looks absolutely stunning. It really does stand out, especially with these showroom lights here. But wow. Due to the fact there is no paint or lacquer or anything on this, it's actually a remarkable 20 kilograms lighter than what it would be if it was painted or if it was just like a standard full carbon body. I mean, just the workmanship of this is absolutely incredible. Obviously the Regera is being renowned for its fixed gear, the single gear from the twin turbo V8. It's an absolute monster and it looks so, so cool sat alongside the newest member, the Jesko. Think of this then. Mansory has taken a Bugatti Chiron and turned it up to 11. Have a look at this thing. The forged carbon presence on this car is just bonkers. It's been completely resprayed in like a really glossy, shiny blue. Carbon fiber wheels, carbon fiber body kit. I mean, the thing is mental. Have a look inside as well. Completely customized. I mean, the car has literally been stripped apart and completely redone. Well, that is what Mansory do, and they have about 8 cars on the stand here, Cullinan and G-Wagon there. But this thing is absolutely bonkers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this must be the first tuner company to get their hands on a Chiron. I don't know if it's got any power gains, I imagine it does, but I mean, just looks-wise, it looks absolutely insane. Obviously from standard you get the W16 1500 horsepower quad turbo engine, but I cannot get over this car. The only thing which I'm personally not too keen on is the redesigned exhaust. I think maybe if they had the Chiron Sport style, maybe something like that, it will look a little bit better. But to be fair, I don't dislike it in general. I mean, it is bonkers, it's a very niche market, but I mean, someone has commissioned this, I'm sure. Let's have a look inside again. I mean, look at that crystal dashboard, completely redesigned interior. Absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments, but my oh my. However, apart from the car, we also have the key. They've even customized the key. I mean, look at this. Diamond encrusted Chiron key. This thing is absolutely insane. I mean, just look at the forged carbon around the front. It's completely redesigned. We've got some louvres now in the front wheel arches. Complete forged carbon front bonnet. I think the name plaque could probably be a little bit smaller, but anyway, the Mansory Centuria is what they have named it. But what a creation. Not to everyone's taste for sure, but pretty cool to see nonetheless. I mean, just look at that paint. Now I'll admit, I was not expecting to see an SLR Sterling Moss here at Geneva. I mean, it's not one of the kind of later cars. I mean, it was built in 2009, so it's quite refreshing to see a slightly older car here. I mean, this thing is an absolute legend. One of only 75 made, finished in crystal silver. Supercharged V8 up front, those side exit exhausts. I mean, it's almost like the Monza SP1 of its day. Super, super cool. No windscreen. You've got this almost like tonneau cover, which you can take off if you want to have a passenger or whatever. And I presume there's another one for the driver's seat. So then if you get caught in the rain, you park up and kind of shelter. I mean, it's not the most practical car, but I mean, this thing is an absolute legend. I could not help but feature this in the video because, I mean, it's a Sterling Moss. unfortunately, that is it for this year's Geneva Motor Show, for me at least. I mean, this event goes on in pretty much until the end of March, so if you're in Geneva or if you're planning on coming, then you'll love it. I mean, it's very busy, but you'll absolutely love it. The cars here, as you've seen in this video, are ridiculous. I need to hop back to the airport now. Luckily, it's just next door, and head back to the UK, head back to reality. But yeah, Swiss trip has been unbelievable. 6 or 7 days on the road. So many memories and exciting videos, which you should have already seen on the channel, or maybe they're coming up soon. I'm not sure how I'm going to plan things. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure you subscribe for all the adventures still to come.